Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. The Honorable the Head of Primary Teacher Education Study Program, Ms. Ikayatri MPD, respectable all participants of this seminar. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thanks the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us some mercies and blessings so that we can attend this agenda without any trouble and obstacle. Salawat and salam may always be given to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness to the lightness. And before we go furthermore, let's hear Indonesian anthem Indonesia Raya and Mars Muhammadiyah. Ladies and gentlemen, today, July 23rd, we are in the second session of International Visiting Professor. We will have long discussion with Professor Alexander Lopez. Please allow me to greet our professor. Good morning, Professor Lopez. Are you with us now?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay, great. Professor Lopez will deliver his topic, the relationship between leadership practice and school culture. And we will have very long discussion with our student, right, Professor? And let me introduce a little bit about Professor Lopez. Professor Alexander Lopez is graduate of Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in General Curriculum in 2016. He is a student leader and served as the executive secretary in the University Student Council for the school year 2015 until 2016. He also a graduate of Master of Arts in Early Childhood Education from Urdaneta City University in 2018, right?
Yes, ma'am.
A faculty member of the College of Education Teaching in the Elementary Laboratory School since 2017 and also teaching in the Bachelor of Early Childhood Education program of DMMMSU SLUC College of Education. I don't know what the abbreviation of this. Maybe you will explain to us later. Okay, that's a brief curriculum vitae of Professor Lopez. Uh, if you are ready, Professor, you may start deliver your topic this morning.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction.
Okay. Let me remind everyone, please switch off your voice so it will not, we will not get any interruption. And we will have a question session and Professor Lopez will answer the question. Okay, now let's share our time and moment to Professor Lopez to deliver his topic. Time is yours, Professor.
Thank you, ma'am. So let me share with you my PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Can you see my PowerPoint presentation at your end?
Yes, it's very nice opening.
Okay. So before I start my presentation, I would like to greet everyone in Bahasa. Please forgive me if I don't give justice with this one. Okay? So, Assalamualaikum. Saya Alexander Lopez dari Fakultas Limu Kependidikan DIMSU. Saya senang berjumpa dengan Anda semua secara virtual di program Pembelajaran Kependidikan Guru Sekolah Dasar Universitas Muhammadiyah Profesor Dr. Hamka. Good day, everyone. So I'm Alexander Lopez. Yes. So DIMSU stands for DMMMSU stands for Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University. Okay. So that's the name of our school.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I would like to greet everyone a pleasant morning, our student interns from UHAMKA, and of course our administrators from UHAMKA, as well as the administrators of DIMSU. Thank you for having me here. Okay. So I will be talking, or we will be discussing about the relationship between leadership practices and school culture. Okay? We have here this quotation. This quotation caught my attention while I am preparing for my PowerPoint presentation. Okay? It states that all teachers are already leaders. It's in the nature of teaching, isn't it? Okay? So put in mind that when we enter the teaching profession, we are already leaders in our own little ways. Okay. Remember also that that time will come. We'll be leaders for our fellow educators and leaders to the next generation. Okay, so we are not going to stay as classroom teacher all throughout our career as educators. Okay, please do remember that there will come a time that we are going to lead our school. There will come a time that we are going to lead our fellow educators in the academy. Okay, so this morning, this morning discussion will be coming from these three concepts, from these three words. Okay, we have the leadership, we have education, and culture. Okay, I just want to ask our audience, our interns, about their ideas, or everyone in this meeting about their idea about leadership, education, and culture. Okay, let's start with leadership, or any word that we could associate with these words. So let's start with leadership, or simply leader. What are the adjectives that we can associate with a leader? Anyone? You can type your answers or your ideas on the chat box. Okay? Anyone? Any idea about leader, or any description about a leader? Anyone from the group? Or you can choose among the three concepts or among the three words. We have the leadership, education, and culture. Choose one and give me a description, or just one word to describe any of the words presented on the screen. Anyone? You can type your answers on the chat box. Okay, leader is the way for success together. Okay, thank you, Nurafni. What else? What else? Just a simple word, or a single word that describes a leader, education, or school for that matter, and culture. Okay? Culture, customs of or way of life. Thank you, Sir Marvin. Motivates and inspires. Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Mirna, for describing leader. Okay, it motivates and it inspires. Okay. So what is the role of culture? Okay, authority for leader. Thank you. Okay, for education, how importance? Okay, what is the importance of education? What is the role of the culture in the educational system? Okay, leader create more leaders. Thank you, Ma'am CJ. Okay. So we are also here to discuss and understand the leaders about their leadership styles, etc. Okay, so let's proceed with the next slide. So I presented to you the three concepts that are very useful for today's discussion. Okay, because these three concepts are important in building a school, or building a strong school community. Okay, when we say school community, we are not only referring to the school itself, but also we to include the different social institutions in the community. What are those? We have the school itself, we have the family, we have the religion or the church, okay? We have the government or the state, and we have the economy. So those are the different social institutions that help the school for the development of our learners, okay? So let's proceed with asking you, what makes a great leader? What makes a great leader? Or for you, what is an ideal leader? Okay, what is an ideal leader? Anyone? Someone who leads, someone who has the direction, goal-oriented, open-minded. So those are some of the qualities of an effective and efficient leader. Okay, so let's try to define leadership. Okay, so when we say leadership, it is the process of influencing others to achieve certain objectives, and it involves influencing the activities of an individual or group in efforts toward reaching a goal in a given situation. Okay, so as a leader, we are there to influence others to achieve or to attain our goals. Okay, so what do you think will happen if a leader failed to influence others? What will happen? What will happen if the leader failed to influence others in achieving their goals? Huh? So basically, the goal will not be realized. Okay? So see the importance of influencing others, influencing your fellow teachers, influencing your students, and influencing the community. Okay? So let's proceed with the behaviors and skills of an effective leader. So as we go along, we are going to identify the different behaviors, how a leader should act in the school, in the community, with his or her fellow educators, with his or her learners. Okay. So the first one is technical competence. What do you mean by technical competence? Technically, it refers to the knowledge and skills of a leader in a certain group to lead. Okay? To become a leader, let's remember this one. To become a leader, you must be a follower first. Okay? You should be a follower first. You should know the what, the how of your group or your organization. You should know the rules, the policies implemented within your organization. You should be familiar with the different policies, okay, for you to be able to become an effective and efficient leader. Okay. Next, how can we establish rapport to the group of if we are not knowledgeable enough about the nature of our work? So that's the question. We should be familiarized, or we should be familiar with the different the parts of the organization, just like what I've said about the policies. Okay, so remember that one. And also, a leader should know his or her job description. What are the things that need to be accomplished? What are the forms, or what are the documents that needs to prepare? And what are the things that he or she needs to prepare for, or in the beginning of the school year? Okay, or what are the things that needs to prepare in the school? Okay, the facilities, not only the facilities, but also the teachers and the learners. Okay, let's proceed with the credibility and integrity. Studies show that honesty is the most sought after leadership traits. Leaders are considered honest when they follow through on promises. Okay, so as a teacher, it is expected for us to show credibility and integrity. Okay, so you should have your word of honor. In the Philippines, we have this palabra de honor. Okay, palabra de honor, which means that's what I've said. Word of honor. You should do what you have said or what you have promised to your students or to your fellow educators or in the organization for that matter. Okay. Next would be insight into people and situation. It is a skill associated with cognitive ability and could be classified as a trait of behavior. Okay, so as a leader, with good insight is able to make better work assignment. Okay, we have the division of labor. Okay, you should know whom to assign this particular assignment in your organization. You should have the idea about the strengths and weaknesses of your fellow educators in the academe. Okay, and also be sensitive to people's feelings. Okay, don't what do you call this one? Just think of the words that you are going to say before saying it loud to a particular group of people or to a particular faculty or teacher in your organization. Okay, be sensitive with the feelings of others. Okay, so as what I've said in the beginning of this discussion, we are teachers and we are also leaders in our own little ways. Okay. Let's proceed with maintaining high standards. Setting high expectations for others becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Employees tend to live up with expectations set for them by supervisor. Okay, I have this Pygmalion effect in this particular slide. What do you mean by Pygmalion effect? Okay, when we say Pygmalion effect, it is a psychological phenomenon in which high expectations lead to improved performance in a given area. So if you can praise your fellow educator, praise them. Okay, you have to give feedback, good feedback if your fellow educator did well or your students did well in the academe. Okay, so effective leaders consistently help group members to high standards of performance, which raises productivity. Okay, so that's Pygmalion effect. Next, behavior is the stability under pressure. So as a leader, don't be the pressure in your organization. Okay, so don't to the group, remain calm and resolving a certain issue. Okay, calmness is the key. Do not shout. Do not let your emotions do not let your emotions be on the way. Just be calm and try to identify what are the cause of that issue and how to resolve this particular issue. Okay, remaining steady under certain conditions contribute to the effectiveness because it helps subordinates cope with the situation. If you, as a leader, remain calm, then your subordinates will follow. Okay, just what I've said. Don't be the pressure or don't give the pressure to the group. Next, we have recover quickly from setbacks. They don't even think about failure, and they don't even use the word failure. Instead, they use the word glitch, mistake, buggle, and setback. Okay? Effective leaders are resilient. They bounce back quickly from setbacks, and what happened cannot be undone. But use this as a lesson to improve future endeavors, or to lessen or to avoid the same mistake. Okay? Being resilient or resiliency. Um, Being resilient is one of the Filipino traits that we can share with the international arena. Okay? What is being resilient? Okay? We Filipinos are being compared to a bamboo. Even the bamboo gets down, time will come that it will gets up. No matter what, after the storm, it gets back on track. So that's resiliency. Okay, so we can observe that Filipinos are keep on smiling because we are also optimistic. We are looking for the brighter side of every situation. Okay, so that's for the behavior and skills of an effective leader. Okay, we have the technical competence, the credibility and integrity, insight into people and situation. We have the maintaining high standards and stability under pressure. And last, we have the recover quickly from setbacks. So those are the behaviors and skills of an effective leader. Next part would be the 9 good leadership practices. Okay, on the screen, you can see the captain. So as a leader, we are the captain of the ship. We look after the welfare of all the people on board. We are held responsible for anything that might happen in the organization. Okay, as a leader, we are the guide in the whole course of the journey in achieving our common goal. Okay, so let's start with the mentor relationship. Mentor relationship, good leaders will go above and beyond to provide training, support, and opportunities for their workers who show strong potential. Okay, if someone needs your help, give. Don't be too greedy in not helping or mentoring new workers of the group. So I remember my first year of teaching here in DIMSU. So I am a newbie in the academe. So what the principal did was he oriented us about the policies, and he did not give me the advisory after hiring. What he did was he gave me a co-advisor. Okay, on that matter, the co-advisor, Professor Zita, was my co-advisor back then. She gave me, or she trained me with the necessary skills and practices in the ELS and for the entire, or in the entire DIMSU community. Okay. Also, the College of Education holds trainings to new faculty members. Okay, they conducted several trainings for the new teachers to cope up with the standards of the school, of the institution. Okay, so that's for the mentor relationship. If you can help someone, help them. Okay. So let's proceed with the next one. Good relationship, not just competitiveness. A good leadership practice is one that fosters and encourages a good working relationship between employees. Okay? So what I can share with you in this particular slide is that we are having our team building activities. So every after a school year, we are conducting team building activities. And in between, we are also conducting sports Olympics, personal Olympics, and we had our personal Olympics last May 26 and 27 to develop sportsmanship, to promote relaxation, and also a form of stress reliever. Okay, so that's the purpose of our team building, our Olympics in the academy. Next, we have encourage employees to advance. A good leader is happy when their employees, when they advance enough to take on new challenges and a new job. Okay? So helping one another, because sometimes one success is the success of the group. Okay? We also have make your goals public. What do you mean by this? Okay, conducting meetings, giving updates. Okay, here in the College of Education, we are conducting a regular meeting, and accomplishment reports are presented to the faculty members, and also plans are clearly laid and presented for discussion. Okay, so make your goals public so that your fellow educators could give their ideas also, could give their insights, okay? Give their opinions about this particular plan, okay? Next, we have give real-time feedback. What is giving real-time feedback? If something positive is accomplished, praise in the moment will elicit a desire to continue doing well, okay? What is the importance of giving feedback? What is the importance of giving feedback? Everyone wants to be praised. Okay? It boosts self-esteem and or self-confidence. Catching bad work early on will make it much easier to correct and coach how to avoid it in the future. So giving real-time feedback not only refers to the positive feedback, but also you have to give the observations you made, even if it is a negative one, for you to give the solution or to resolve a particular issue and to avoid this matter to occur in the future. Okay? That's giving real-time feedback. Next, accomplish or complement sandwich. What do we mean by complement sandwich? Okay, it is a practice where the leader compliments or praises the employee for something they've done well and is followed by a critique. Okay, so as you can see in the image, compliment. In between, we have critique. Critiquing is not only a form of bashing. Okay, when we say critiquing, you are or we are giving solutions to a particular problem. We are giving suggestions to improve the output of the group. Okay, we should be open with constructive criticism. Okay, we have to look for the brighter side of this particular event. Okay, so if your future leaders will compliment and critique you, say thank you, because they want you to improve. They want you to do well and to do better in your future endeavors. Okay, so that's compliment sandwich. One-on-ones, they allow you as a leader to form a deeper bond with each of your employees or subordinates. Okay, do not broadcast someone's mistake. If you can talk with that particular person, talk with him or her. Okay, if a mistake has been committed, use your office or use a particular office and talk about the matter with the person involved. Okay, as what I've said, do not broadcast one's mistake. Okay, it demoralizes the person involved. Okay, use a particular area, a place where you can talk with the person involved.
Yeah.
Okay, as what I've said, we can utilize the office or any particular area that you can be alone and talk for the matter. Okay, conducting meetings. Okay, that's what I've said earlier. We have conducting regular meetings, faculty meetings. Somewhat related to making your goals public, conducting meetings, presenting accomplishment reports to the group or to the body or to your fellow educators. Okay, conducting meetings, also resolving a certain issue where we can interact, where we can get the consensus of our fellow educators in the academe, so that they could give their own point of view about that matter. Okay. Also, conducting meetings is a form of information dissemination about the updates or the updates, and everyone should be informed about the different activities of the academe, of the organization. Okay, the dates, particular dates, if there are occasions to be conducted, everyone should be informed about the dates. Okay, aside from the dates, we have the attire, okay, the time, and so on and so forth. Okay, and last, with the 9 leadership practices, we have trust your team. Leaders should be able to effectively delegate the necessary tasks to the employees. Okay, division of labor, giving tasks to the right person. If you think as a leader, this particular person cannot perform this particular assignment, then give it to someone who can perform effectively. Okay? So leaders should be able to effectively delegate the necessary tasks to the right employees. Okay? So that is the end of the 9 leadership practices. Okay? Good leadership practices make a big difference. So bear in mind that we are teachers, we are also leaders in our own little ways. Okay, let's proceed with the leadership styles. I have listed here 3 key leadership styles. What do you mean by leadership styles? This is the behavior of the leader in a particular situation. Okay, it is the leadership continuum or classical approach to understanding leaders. Do not get mad on your superior if he or she behaves with this particular leadership style. Okay, according to how much authority they retain for themselves versus how much is turned over to the group. Okay, the 3 key leadership styles is composed of autocratic, participative, and the free reign leadership styles. Okay, so these 3 are the key leadership styles that we are going to discuss as we go along. So let's start with the autocratic leader. What do we mean by autocratic leader? Okay, autocratic leaders make all the major decisions and assume leadership subordinates will comply without question. Leaders who use this style give minimum consideration to what group members are likely to think about an order or decision. Okay? That's consideration about the members. Okay? All decisions are made by the leader with no proper consultation from the members or from the subordinates. Okay? The leader assumes that whatever order he or she may do, subordinates will follow. So the authority is solely in the leader. So that's autocratic leader. Okay? So he or she assumes subordinates will comply with whatever order he or she may give. Okay? We have the participative leader, one who shares decision-making authority with the group. Okay? So participative leader is composed of three types. We have the consultative, we have the consensual, and we have the democratic participative leader. Let's have consultative. Okay? When we say consultative leader, it solicits opinion from the group before making a decision, yet does not feel obliged to accept the group thinking. Okay? The leader only asks for the opinions and ideas of the members, but does not oblige to do or to have the decision uh, coming from the group. Okay? So the decision or the final say is still with the leader. He or she is just asking about the ideas of the group members. Okay? We have the consensual, encourages group discussion about an issue, then makes a decision that reflects the consensus of the group members. Okay? So in the consultative, the final say is still with the leader. Okay? Well, in fact, with the consensual leaders, whatever the decision after having or after collecting the ideas, that would be the final say. Okay? So the last one is the democratic leaders. The leader functions as a collector of opinion and takes a vote before making a decision. Democratic leaders turn over so much authority to the group. So as stated, the leaders turn over so much authority to the group. Okay, whatever the decision after collecting the opinions, then that will be the final decision of the group. Okay, and the final, the last participative type of leader, we have the free reign leadership. The free reign leadership style is also referred as laissez-faire. What do you mean by laissez-faire? Okay, allow them to do. They issue general goals and guidelines to the group and then do not get involved again unless requested. So instructions, guidelines were presented or were given to the group members, and then they have the freedom to do what they want as long as they are meeting with the set goals of the group. Okay, and states that do not get involved again unless requested. And if the members are not, how do you call this one, are not satisfied with their achievement or with their output, then they may request the assistance of the leader. Okay. We have the expectations from a leader. Okay. So let me end this particular, the first part of my presentation with this model, expectations from a leader. We have the old model and today's expectations. Old model, director of other teachers, coordinator of educational resources, leadership using somewhat authoritarian style and often done in charismatic manner by directing all members. So we can observe that in the old model of expectation, okay, the sole responsibility is on the leader. Okay. How about today's expectation? To meet all challenges in everyday operations, to move the entire school toward accomplishment of the established mission, and leadership through collaborative efforts of all the stakeholders, followed by encourage and empower the members to analyze their situation and improve their actions to meet the goals established by the stakeholders as a group. So the comparison with this model is that old model is more on the function of a leader. Okay. Today's expectation, it is a collaborative effort within the school community for that matter. Okay, so that's the expectations from a leader before and today's expectation. Next, we have the school as the social institution. As mentioned earlier, there are different social institutions and school is one of them. Okay, the following are the different social institutions that works hand in hand for the development of not only the school but the entire community. We have the school, we have the family, the government, religion, and economics. Okay, so those social institutions play a vital role in the development of the society itself. Okay, let's have school as a social institution. As a social institution, the basic purpose of education is the transmission of knowledge. While before, education was a family responsibility along with the community and the church. But due to industrialization, everything changed. Okay, so that's the purpose of a school as a social institution. Okay, so I have here 5 functions of a school. We have the intellectual purpose, we have the political purpose, the social purpose, the economic purpose, and the multiple school functions. Okay, let's start with the intellectual purpose of a school. Okay, what are the intellectual purpose? We have here listed to teach basic cognitive skills such as reading, writing, and mathematics, to transmit specific knowledge in literature, history, and sciences, also to help students acquire higher order thinking skills such as analysis, evaluation, and synthesis. Right? Next would be the political purpose. Okay? To inculcate allegiance to the existing political order or patriotism, to prepare citizens who will participate in the political order, to help assimilate diverse cultural groups in a common political order, and to teach children the basic laws of the society. Okay? What is the importance of laws in the society? Anyone? Can you give me the importance of laws in the society? Why do we need to follow certain policies, certain rules in the community or in the society? What does laws promote? We have peace and order, unity. Okay, so those are some importance in following laws in the society. Okay, we have the next one, social purpose. Social purpose, to socialize children into various roles, behaviors, and values of society. Socialization of children, school works along with other school institutions such as the family and the church to ensure social cohesion. Okay, social development. We are not in the caves anymore. It promotes collaborative approaches or collaborative works with the different individuals in the community. That's the social purpose. Okay. Next, we have the economic purpose. Economic purpose, to prepare students for their later occupational roles, to select, train, and allocate individuals into the division of labor. Okay. What else? A career development, helping students to decide with their future professions. So that's the economic purpose of a school. Okay. Lastly, we have the multiple school functions. Listed here are the 5 multiple school functions. We have the technical or economic, we have the human or social, we have the political, cultural, and educational purpose of school. Okay, so that ends our discussion with education. Okay, we are done with leadership, we are done with education. Now, let's proceed with the school culture. What do you mean by school culture? What do you mean by school culture? Anyone? Anyone from the group? Okay, school culture. When I say school culture, it is the organization's culture or school's culture is made up of the beliefs and values which school participants hold to be meaningful in the actual operation of the school system. Generally refers to the beliefs, perceptions, relationships, attitudes, and written and unwritten rules that shape and influence every aspect of how school functions. You also have school culture consists of underlying influences and attitudes within the school based on the norms, traditions, and beliefs of the staff and students. So that's the school culture. Why school culture is important? Anyone? Why school culture is important? You can type your answers on the chat box. School culture. What is it? Why school culture is important? We have because have an educational. School culture have a vision and mission. Okay, school culture is a broad and nearly impossible to define term. Generally speaking, it entails the school's norms, traditions, rituals, and values. So that's it. That's school culture. Okay, so as mentioned, it is a written or unwritten practices in a particular community. Okay, positive school culture can improve students. Okay, not only improve students but also improve the relationship between fellow teachers and teachers to the students and teachers to the family, because it will build the culture and attitudes of students who go to school, and it affects learning. Okay, so it is inextricably linked to the relationships that exist among the staff members and between teachers and students. Correct. Okay. So this school culture plays a vital role because if we promote a positive school culture, okay, we can promote a positive relationship also with our fellow teachers, with the students, with the parents or the family, or for the community for that matter. Okay, thank you for giving your responses. So the following are identified as importance of culture, school culture. It improves school culture, contributes to greater school success because you are sharing a common goal. Okay, what else? You are sharing common goal, unity in achieving a common goal. When school culture is strong, teachers and students have a greater incentive to strive for their maximum potential. Okay, teachers and students are supported and encouraged. Okay, we have satisfaction, morale, and fulfillment all grow as school culture blossoms. Okay, fruit of collaboration. Okay, with encouragement provided by a healthy school Teachers are more likely to prioritize their professional development and aptitude by improving their skills, expanding their base of knowledge and connecting with their students. They are motivated because of a positive school culture in a particular community or a particular school. Can be guide that provides a framework and foundation in the form of ideas, passion, ideas and ideals that direct the performance of teachers and to achieve school goals. Okay. Please do remember also that we in the school community are diverse. We came from different families. We believe differently. We belong in a particular and different religions. Okay, so in the school, if we can promote a healthy, a positive school culture, then let's promote and be diverse. Even if we are diverse, because diversity also promotes unity. Okay, especially when you are sharing common goals. Okay. Next, motivated teachers are more apt to tailor their approaches to students' individualized learning needs, better prepared to guide their students toward excellence, and more willing to praise their students for a job well done. Okay. And lastly, students in a strong school culture understand that there is pressure to succeed, but also acknowledge the pressure is positive and know that the school is there to support them in rising to any academic challenges. Okay, so that ends with the building strong school culture. Let's proceed with the 5 strategies of building effective culture. Okay, so a while back, we were able to identify the importance of a school culture. Why do we need to promote positive school culture? Now, we are going to identify strategies of building effective school culture. Okay, so the following are the strategies in building effective school culture. We have the bridging program, school-wide goals, loyal opposition networks, and assemblies. Okay. Let's start with bridging program. What do I mean by bridging program? Leaders should start by introducing schools newcomers to the institution's ethos and expectations as soon as possible. This allows them to make an easy transition and fit in with the school culture. Okay. Here in the College of Education or here in DIMSU, we are conducting orientation programs. Okay. What is the purpose of orientation programs? Okay, students or newcomers are being oriented with the different university policies. Okay, discussing what is included in the student handbook, code of discipline, okay, dress code, etc., etc. And in the classroom, we are conducting orientation also of the subject. What are the things that needs to be accomplished? What are the things they expect with this particular course or subject? Okay, so that's a bridging program. We are giving the newcomers an idea about our environment, about the system, okay, about our culture, about the school culture for that matter, okay, for their easy transition and fit in with the school culture. Okay, we are giving them the idea or we are giving them the overview, okay, about the university or the school. Next, we have school-wide goals. Make the school's mission and goals publicly accessible. The entire school can be understand and share in similar purpose and work toward it collaboratively. So here in DIMSU, you can find the university's mission, vision, goals, and objectives in our website. Also, aside from our website, you can find it in the different offices in the school. Okay, it's been a practice also to include DIMSU's vision, mission, goals, and objectives, including its philosophy, to the souvenir programs or even portfolios, projects, etc. Okay. Next, we have loyal opposition. Okay. We have here constructive criticism. Maybe our ideas are not that strong. That is why we need others to give their ideas about their opinions on a certain policy for that matter. Okay, multiple viewpoints are expressed and school leaders can address deficiencies in their proposed policies. If there are loopholes or if there are missing details in the proposed policy, then we can resolve this issue by inviting or by getting the consensus or getting the ideas of the group members. Okay. For the fourth one, we have networks. Seeking the aid of outside experts can help provide a neutral point of view on a school's challenges and introduce objective solutions for improving the school culture. Okay. So for me, networks, what we are doing now is an example of expanding our networks. Okay, collaboration with other entities to further improve our school culture. Okay, we are giving our own. We are discussing our own practices here in the Philippines, and in return, you are tasked also to share your culture, to share your practices in Indonesia. Okay. And last, we have assemblies. Assemblies is more likely with meetings. Okay. We instill idea that the school is a unit working toward shared goals, and it offers an opportunity to build positivity through celebrating achievements and laying out expectations. Okay, so I repeat, accomplishment reports, plans are being laid during meetings or assemblies to further discuss with the group members and to ask their consensus or their ideas about this particular matter. Okay, so those are the 5 strategies that we can do to promote building effective school culture. Now, let's proceed with the examples of or elements of school culture. Okay, I have listed here 8 examples of school culture. Okay. Number 1 is symbols. Symbols such as colors, logos, fashion, places, and people. For example, a school uniform or a building with unique and compelling architecture. So with this, since logo is being mentioned here, I want to share you our university's logo. Okay, so the different parts of the logo or the seal has its own meaning. Okay, so let's start with the green valleys. I just want to share with you our university seal. Okay, there are 12 green valleys. Okay, or yeah, the outer part of this one, the outer part of the seal. The 12 green valleys represents the 12 month of a year because of a year-round delivery of quality service to the community. Okay. Next, we have the torch. The torch represents instruction for the individual's physical, mental, and spiritual development. After the torch, we have the microscope. The microscope represents science, a major university program. Okay, we have here on the opposite side, the tractor. Okay, the tractor indicates extension programs or extension activities that will promote economic development. Okay, let's proceed with the 5 yellow rings. Okay, the 5 yellow rings indicates the 5 schools or institutions that originally composed the university. Okay, we have the Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State College. We have the La Union School of Arts and Trades. We have the Southern Ilocos Polytechnic State College. We have the Community College of La Union and Sapilang Elementary School. Okay. We also have the interlocking triangle, which states the research, extension, and instruction. These are the tri-function of the university. Okay. So that is the history or the symbolism in our university's seal. Next, we have stories. Okay. Stories, information, and myths that give the school an interesting character. Okay, it could be your history, the founder, or anything that relates with the school's foundation. We have legacy, the history of schools such as a list of graduates who went on to do great things. Okay, some schools in the Philippines named their buildings after a hero or after someone who did a lot of contributions in the formation and in the development of that particular school. Okay? We also have the language. Language is also an element of a school culture. It is a unique to schools such as slogans, terms, and slang. So here in DIMSU, we have this embracing world-class standards. This is our mantra. Okay, this is our university's mantra. We are embracing world-class standards. Okay, we are doing our best to be at par with the international or in the global arena. Okay. So next, we have the rites of passage. Okay, these are ceremonies and traditions that mark a milestone. Okay, an example of this one is a graduation ceremony. Okay, graduation, recognition. Okay, it marks a milestone for not only in the part of the students but also in the part of the school for another year of success in educating our learners. Next, we have habits such as environment where being late or for class is taken seriously. Okay. We have methods, educational methods such as system of student leadership. We have here SOPs, standard operating procedures, where what are the things that needs to be done are laid and we are directed. Okay, we are directed on what we're going to do first, next, and last. Okay, so being systematic. Okay, and etiquette, conventions of polite behavior that exist between faculty and students. And last, we have the tone. Okay, tone is the overall atmosphere of a school. For example, a school that embraces traditions and discipline versus a school that embraces change and creativity. Okay, so I think that's the end of my presentation. We were able to discuss about 3 different concepts and the relationship. We have leadership, we have education, and culture. Okay, so those are the 3 concepts that are interrelated in building a strong school community. That's what I've said a while back. School cannot stand alone. Okay, it needs the help of the different school institution. Okay, we have the government, um, we have the church, the family, and the economy. Okay, so I would like to thank you all for your active participation for today's discussion. Okay, terima kasih.
Terima kasih kembali, Professor Lopez. Okay, that's a very long and complete explanation, and I have a lot of notes. And I believe all the participants also make a lot of notes and ready to ask you some questions, Professor. Okay, now let's open the question and answer session. And Professor Lopez will answer all your questions clearly. Please, you may raise your hand or just text your question in the chat box.
Okay, we have here.
Yes, we have the first question. You want me to read it or you already read it by yourself, Professor?
I will read it by myself, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. From Farah Yusef.
Yeah,
Okay.
Farah Yusef. Good morning, Professor Alexander. I have a question regarding the material you can pay. As previously mentioned, the school culture is important in contributing to greater success. What if students cannot apply norms and attitudes that are in accordance with the school culture and violate the school culture? Will this have a major impact on the success of the school in carrying out the educational process? Thank you for the opportunity. Okay. First, if the student is enrolled in a particular school, then he or she have to follow a certain policies, rules and regulations in the particular school. Okay, if yes, it violates the school culture in the manner if this particular student cause chaos, confusion the school to the school community. And even if the student came from different or believes in different practices or beliefs, he or she must adjust with the school's norms, with the school's policies, and the school culture. Okay. They have to apply, they have to follow the norms and yes, rules and regulations in the school community. They have to follow. Okay. Thank you, Farah Yusef. We have the next. So I want to ask, didn't you
Next
say
we
earlier?
have Naufal, yes?
Yeah, Naufal.
Yes.
Didn't you say earlier that the education culture belongs to the parents? So what if the parents have difficulty collaborating in the culture of learning?
Yes, it sometimes happens,
their
right?
children? Okay, it happens. Okay, it really happens. But what we need to do as part of the school, we have to set meetings. We have to have a dialogue about the school's policies. Okay, parents. So what if the parents have difficulty collaborating? They have to collaborate with the school if they want to have, or if they want to develop their children. Okay, so basically parents should be the one to encourage their children to follow, and they have to collaborate with the school for the development of their children. Okay. I keep on reminding my students that school cannot function alone. Okay, a strong bond or relationship between family and school is a must. We have to work hand in hand with the family and the school to fully to achieve or to develop our learners or our children holistically. Okay. Next, we have Putri Nurasha. In your opinion, how does a teacher teach cultural values to students at school? Okay, so here in the Philippines, we have values education. Okay, in that it is a particular subject where we teach good manners and right conduct, and we teach the different cultures of the Philippines. What are the different values that they need to develop? What are the values that they need to possess as they go along with their journey? So that's how we educate our learners about the values. Okay, introduce
Next,
me. We
well,
have
we have
Elise.
Elite Santiana. Yes.
I have permission to ask, what should teachers do when they are required to complete administration, but must also prioritize their professional development
Talents, yes.
and talents? Okay. What should teachers do when they are required to complete administration?
Yes, sometimes teacher make a lot of administration before they start teaching.
They have administrative functions.
Yes.
Okay, they have administrative functions. Okay. Here in our university, we have the faculty workload. Okay, the faculty workload determines how much workload you need a particular teacher should have in a semester. Okay, we have 18. The minimum requirement is 18 units. Okay, so we have to have, what do you call this one, time management, or we have to have time for our professional development as well. Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes we have administrative functions in the school. We cannot avoid that matter, but we also need to develop ourselves professionally. We have to attend trainings also. We have to attend our to complete our master's degree, our PhD or Doctor of Education degree. Okay, so that's my
Yes.
take on this one for Alice Sanchana.
Yes, it's we a lot of teachers face the same situation, Professor. We have a lot of administration to make, preparation, a very long preparation before we teach. On the other hand, we have to develop our talent, just like what Elise Santiana said. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's true that we need to learn how to make a very good time management, right?
yes, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yes, next we have a very interesting question from Kurnia Rizkianti.
Okay.
It's interesting question.
How do I tell others that I have a leadership spirit? Okay, thank you. Okay. Do not tell. Do not tell that you have a leadership spirit. Show them that you have a leadership spirit. Okay, you have leadership skills in you. Show them. Okay. For instance, if you are tasked to have a group activity, then take the lead. Show them your goal. Lead. Give your opinions about your group goal. What else? Okay, sorry. Don't tell others. Okay, just show them that you have a leadership spirit in you. Okay, they will appreciate your leadership skill.
Okay, you must remember that, Kurnia. Don't tell, just show them the action, right?
Yes, because
Okay,
action speaks louder than words.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay, you still have a lot of questions,
Yeah,
Professor.
there are
And
18 new messages on the line. So
yes,
we have Hilia,
I do have you still have a lot of time for us to answer all those questions. Next, we have Julia Azra.
which is about leadership. And as we know, the leadership is it's so important for us to let me ask you how to implement the leadership for the introvert personality people and how to be successful in leadership as an introverted leader. Thank you. Okay. Normally, if you are an introvert, you are afraid to 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 socialize, but there will come a time that you can overcome this one by what? By engaging yourself into group activities, by engaging yourself in the different programs or activities conducted in the school. Okay, do not let yourself secluded in the four corners of the classroom. Okay, let yourself to participate to the different programs, not only in the school. You can participate in the different programs of your community. Okay, in your particular community, not only in the school. Okay, if your municipality or your area is conducting a leadership training, or your school is to conduct a leadership training, then you have to join. Do not let your introvert personality to reign in your system. Okay, trust yourself that you can overcome this one. Okay, thank you, Hilya. Okay, we have
Yes. Next we have Melinda Ikawati.
from Melinda. How does a teacher an autocratic leader in school? I think it's autocratic. Autocratic. How does a teacher an autocratic leader in school? Okay. The description of an autocratic leader a while back is that the major decision lays on the hand of the leader. It does not ask the consensus of the members or his or her students. Okay. So that's an autocratic leader. If that is being meant with Melinda.
And next we have Ainia. Ainia.
Am I limited to answer questions, or I have to answer these 22 questions?
Yeah, it's quite a lot of questions.
Okay, so let's get going. I have two questions. To be good in quality leader is different or the same? To be good and quality leader is different or the same? Okay, how to be a good and quality leader and what are or what the steps? Okay, let's have the first one. To be a good and quality leader is different or the same? Okay, there are somewhat related from one another, but being a quality leader is more more engaging, more efficient, because if you are a quality leader, you look after with the welfare of your members, the welfare of your organization. Okay, and number two, how to be a good and quality leader and what are the steps? First one, you have to be a leader within yourself. Okay, you have to lead yourself first. Okay, if you believe that you are a leader, then it follows. Okay, you lead your family, you lead your friends, you lead your classmates, you lead your group. Okay, and eventually those skills acquired will be used in the school community. Okay, thank you, Ania.
Okay, how many more questions that you are going to
There
answer,
are
Professor Lopez?
23 new messages in line map.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm Rizga Nelva. I want to ask a question. Can we make Indonesia a better country by applying leadership attitudes in our daily lives? Of course. Okay. Of course. Okay. Not only Indonesia, but also in the Philippines or any other countries, if we have a strong and competent leaders in our own country, then we can achieve a development in every aspect of our lives. Okay, and I believe that Indonesia is a better country. Okay. The presentation was very good and gave me new knowledge. What are the negative impacts of for students if a school does not implement a good culture? Okay, so the negative impact of this one, if a school does not implement a good culture, then as a student, you have to look for another school because it will not develop your personality. It will not develop your patriotism to your own culture, okay, to your nation's culture. You have the school should uh, promote a good and positive culture. If it does not, then you have to find another school who promotes a positive and good culture, because we can use this as we go along with our journey, as we go along with our daily lives, as we go along with our jobs in the near future. Okay, so a school should promote a good and positive school culture. Okay, for Putri Alia, related to the school culture, how do we change school culture for the better? Well, the previous school culture was very strong and attached. Thank you, Professor. If there is no need to change, don't change. Retain this culture. Okay, it was mentioned that it is very strong and attached to the school. Then don't change. Just have to add. If there are another culture, school culture, you want to add and adopt in a particular school. Okay, I repeat. Okay, as mentioned, if the culture was very strong and attached to a particular school, then you don't have to remove, you don't have to change. You stick on it and you have to just have to add. Okay, there is no limit when it comes to school culture. Okay, my name is Noor Fadila.
Nur Fadila, yes.
Yeah, I am allowed to ask questions to Professor how to improve the quality of education through school leadership organization that is visionary but systematic in its work. Okay, how to improve the quality of education through school leadership that is visionary but systematic in its work. Okay, if we are a classroom teacher, what we can do is that we lead our students. Okay, we lead our students, we lead our fellow educators. Okay, and if there are meetings or if there are assemblies that are conducted in your particular school, then you have to raise your hand, you have to speak up and share your ideas, share your opinions about this particular issue. Okay, next we have I want to ask
Now
well,
follow, now follow.
yeah, now file. Well,
Yes.
what if in a place the cultural education is very bad because of the infrastructure? Has it been stated that is deteriorated in terms of cultural education? Thank you. Okay. So in our case here in the Philippines, we are, or the government is conducting rehabilitation, especially with what do you call this one? Infrastructures that are that plays that has a significant role in our society. Okay, we are not letting these historical infrastructures to deteriorate. Okay, that is why, as what I said, the government is conducting rehabilitation programs to the infrastructures that are about to deteriorate. Okay. In the case of infrastructures, I think we are not responsible with this one. We are just we can give our sentiments to the government. Okay, we can give our sentiments to the government for the repair or for the rehabilitation for this particular infrastructure. Okay. I want to ask, how do we teach students, especially elementary school children, about leadership? Thank you, Prof. Okay. So basically, let's go to the classroom. Okay. As a teacher in a classroom, how do you teach leadership? Okay, so there are different ways. One is that you have to have group activities. Okay, group activities where a certain or a particular student is going to lead. Okay, for instance, there are 40 students and you group them into four. Then there are 4 students who are going to lead a particular group. Okay, and then the next topic or the next class, you can do the same. You can do the rotation. Okay, you can do the rotation. Also, in the classroom here in the Philippines, we have our classroom officers. Okay, we have our classroom officers. We have the president, or we have the president, the vice president, the secretary, the treasurer, etc., etc. That is how we teach leadership here in the Philippines. Okay, I repeat. Here in the Philippines, we have classroom officers. Okay, so these what are the functions of the classroom officers? So they are responsible if the teacher is not around. Okay, they are responsible with the behavior with the behavior of the class while the teacher is not around. Okay, that is how we teach leadership in the school. Okay, for Anissa, I want to ask what
Yes.
needs to be done by an educator in building and developing school culture with character. Okay, what needs to be done by an educator in building? First and foremost, you have to be a leader for yourself. Okay, you have to be a leader for yourself. Okay, in that matter, you can share your expertise. You can share your knowledge and skills with the school, with your learners, with the community. Okay. Next, we have
Okay. Saida.
Saida. In the developmental stage of elementary school students in a golden age, it can be a responsibility for teachers to be able to build the character of students in their golden age. Student character is built from culture, but in building the character, there are problems that arise, one of which is because at this time, the era of technology, culture is developing very quickly. In order to be able to control the culture that develops in the midst of the students' environment, both in the real world and in the cyberspace, how do teachers overcome the challenges of the situation then? Thank you. So first,
Yes.
values or character traits are first taught in the family, okay, within the
Okay.
family. Okay,
How many question
there
more
are there are
that you are going
30
to answer?
there are 30 new messages in line, ma'am.
Yes, but you don't need to answer
Sir?
all of this question because we almost ran out of time.
Okay. Just after this one.
Yes,
Okay.
maybe 2 or 3 more questions.
Okay. Thank you. But in building the character, there are problems. Yes, we experience this one where digital era is being present. Okay, there are gadgets like cell phones, tablets, computer, mobile games, and other mobile activities or in the cyberspace. Okay, what do we need to do to overcome these challenges? Okay, we have a practice before in the elementary laboratory school that students are not allowed to bring their mobile phones. Okay, there are times that they are allowed to bring their mobile phone, but not the Android one. Okay, but not the Android one that they cannot play with. Okay, they are just allowed to bring a mobile phone where their parents can contact them or what time they are going to fetch their children. Okay, so that's how we do here in the Philippines. Okay, last two we have Ania and Hilya.
Yes, Ania.
Okay, what the good leader should do if have struggle. Okay, um, if you are struggling, you don't need to fight this alone. Okay, we have our family, we have our friends. Okay, we have our family, we have our friends. you have to share it with your friends. If you cannot share it with your family, okay, share it with your friends, okay, and ask them what they can do to help you. Or ask your teachers, okay, share it with your teachers and ask your teachers what they can do to help you, okay, to overcome this struggle. Okay, I think that's the end, ma'am.
Yes.
There
The last
are,
question. The last question is from Ailia. Yeah,
yeah.
because most of the chat saying thank you to
Okay,
you.
okay. I thought
Yes.
the
Yes.
remaining messages are still questions.
Yes. I felt the same way, but
Okay, okay.
they thanking you for all your clear explanation. Okay. Okay. That's the end of our question and answer session, right, Professor Lopez? And
Yes, ma'am.
ladies and gentlemen, I am glad to inform you that we already have our dean in our room, Dr. Desvian Bandarsyah, MPD, accompanied by Vice Dean, the first Vice Dean, Dr. Sri Asuti MPD, who already joined us this morning. Mr. Desvian Bandarsyah will give you the certificate of today International Visiting Professor. So let's invite Dr. Desvian Bandarsyah. Yes, are you ready, Mr. Desvian? Time is
Okay,
yours.
I ready.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Professor Alexander Lovas. Your topic is very interesting and give us lot ideas to apply. I do hope all the participants got a lot of benefit after hearing your explanation. To appreciate your effort, I give you this certificate. I hope we will meet again in another program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Lopez. Please receive the certificate from our lovely dean.
Thank you very much also for having us.
Yes. Next, we will have a photo session before our dean and our vice dean leave the room. Okay, get ready, everyone, for the photo session. Okay, okay. Do we have our head, Bu Apni, Bu Ika? Yes, there. Yeah. Okay, complete group. Yeah, we have our head of program, Ibu Ikayatri, the vice also, always head of the program, Ibu Rafni, who became the moderator yesterday. Oh, we also have Professor Tandas here. Okay, thank you very much, sir, for coming. Okay, let's
Professor
take
Marvin,
it out. Take it out for the first screen. Okay.
how are you?
Okay, get ready, everyone. Okay, next slide, please.
I'm doing fine, sir. Thank you po.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Tandas. Okay, we still take some pictures of our session this morning. Keep smiling, everyone. Okay, we already took some picture of you who already joined our 2-day session. It's very lovely. Ibu Ikayatri, do you have something to say before we close the program?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nova. Dr. Desvian Bandarsha, MPD, the Dean of Faculty of Teaching, Training, Education, UHAMKA, Vice Dean, Ms. Sri Astuti, MPD, and then speaker. Thank you, Prof. Alexander S. Lopez and Prof. Marvin Vitandas. Program studi PGSD sangat bangga sekali. Thank you for insight from all participants in this visiting professor in primary teacher primary program. Thank you, and I hope kerjasama kita nanti bisa berlanjut sehingga nanti bisa ada kegiatan-kegiatan yang kita lakukan bersama antara FKIP UHAMKA dan Don Mariano DMSU. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Ika. Ibu Nurafni, you have something to say?
Yeah, thank you. Especially thank you for our professor from Philippines, Professor Alexander and Professor Marvin. I think after this we have to make MOU, Pak Dekan and Bu Astuti, because this is so related with PGSD. Maybe we can make MOU about research in primary teacher education, about social community also, and about in Bahasa we say with magang PKL. This is teaching practice. Maybe we can come to Philippines, to your campus, and maybe we can share many knowledge, many skill. Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome here in the Philippines, especially
Thank you.
here in Timsu.
Yes,
You are very much
I do
welcome.
hope we can meet in person, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes, thank you very much once again to Mr. Desvian Bandarsa, Ibu Sri Astuti, Ibu Ikayatri, Ibu Nurafni, and special speaker, Professor Pandas and Professor Lopez. I do hope that we can meet really in person. And thank you very much for all the participants from the Philippines and also from Indonesia. We will, maybe our head of program will arrange another seminar for you in the next occasion. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our session, International Visiting Professor, for today's. I do hope and I do believe that you are going to apply all the new knowledge and information from Professor Lopez and Professor Tandas. It's very nice to have everyone here this morning. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll see you again in the next program. Wabillahi
Yes.
taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Thank
wabarakatuh.
you, Prof. Thank you, Pak Dekan. Thank you, Bu
Thank you,
Astuti.
Prof. Thank you, Pak Dekan, Ibu Wakil Dekan 1.
Sukses untuk PGSD
Amin.
and team.
Thank you, Prof. Ma'am Nova?